sufficient, and nutritious food is the cornerstone for economic stability, social development, and global peace. But this stage cannot be tackled in isolation. International collaboration is pivotal because food security issues are interconnected. What affects one region inevitably impacts the rest of the world. Shared challenges like climate change, supply chain disruptions, and the degradation of agricultural land demand collective solutions, highlighting need for partnership and global collaboration. Sustainable innovation is the catalyst that drives this collaboration forward. By harnessing innovative technologies, rethinking traditional agricultural processes, and embracing cross-border partnership, we have the opportunity to redefine how we produce, distribute, and consume food. The Forward Faster Food Initiative serves as a powerful example of how diverse entities, governments, research institutions, and private partnerships can unite to address the complexities of the global food security. Our panelists today represent key players in the space, and they will share their respective contributions and insights on how collaborative strategies and innovative solutions can advance progress. Join me in welcoming Mrs. Sharon Jean Gonzalez from Morination Agriculture, who will be handling the private sector contribution at the grassroots initiatives. Dr. Khaled Al-Ruhili from Istidama, the Director General of Istidama, the National Center for Research and Development of Sustainable Agriculture in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And Mr. Ibrahim Al-Hilali, Director General of the United Nations Compact Network in Saudi Arabia. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Ladies first, so we'll start with you, Mrs. Sharon, and we'd like to know more about yourself, about Morination, and if you can tell us how, you being the private sector representative on this panel, how the private sector companies are driving sustainable food production, addressing food security at its grassroots levels.
Right, so thank you very much. Thank you to the government of KSA for inviting me here. I think I'm the representative from the Philippines. So good afternoon, everyone. Again, thank you for the introduction. I am Sharon Gulmatico. I'm the CEO of Morination Agriculture Products. We're a social enterprise supplying and delivering goods to the United Nations for their peace, development, and humanitarian efforts. I'm also the lead of the people pillar of the UN Global Compact Network Philippines, where we're currently implementing the Forward Faster Towards Zero Hunger. So later I'll be talking about what we're doing. But question, what are we doing? So right now, the private sector in the Philippines is evolving. So we're working with the UN we're working with the UN in advancing both our corporate goals and then finding this balance in aligning with the SDGs as well. So we're balancing both profitability and sustainability. So from the past, before the UN Global Compact, we're all working in silos. And then there's also the absence of third-party monitoring to determine what we're doing is really sustainable. You know, you see a lot of greenwashing. So it's really, and they're saying they're very responsible citizens, but in fact, it's really greenwashing. So, but when the Global Compact in the Philippines came, and then we're already working with the UN, we're seeing ourselves as a force of good right now, so that and then whether you're a small organization like ours or big corporations, we have big corporations also. There's 60 members in the UN Global Compact in the Philippines. And then we see that with our resources, innovation, we could work towards meeting the SDGs and also balancing our corporate goals.
This leads me to my second question to you is, how does Morination, what are the strategies that you are using in scaling up sustainable agricultural solutions, and particularly under the Forward Faster Food Initiative? Can you elaborate more on that?
Yes, in Morination, at the grassroots levels, we see our farmers not as recipients of dole-outs. we see them as partners to for our and meeting our deliverables. Just to share with you, we started 10 years ago, and our first project with the UN involves delivering goods to to communities hit by the worst typhoon in the Philippines, Haiyan. So we delivered around 500,000 seedlings there. So we really needed our local farmers to work with us because they have the local know-how and the knowledge to make sure that when we're there delivering these goods, we could meet it in a timely manner. And then we also worked with our women growers. Incidentally, currently we have 90% women-led organizations, and then 90% of our farmers are also locally based. So they've been helping us see that these are not just commodities that we're dealing with, there's living things. So from then on, we could see that our women growers also bring their maternal instincts, maternal characteristics, and telling us that they're not just helping us with the businesses, but we're also building communities with their maternal characteristics as well. So those are just some things that we're doing there in the Philippines.
Amazing. We'll move now to Dr. Khaled Rohili. He's the Director General of Istidama, which is the National Center of Research Development of Sustainable Agriculture in the Kingdom. Dr. Rohili, the Istidama focuses on agricultural innovation. Can you elaborate on the technologies and the practices that you aim at developing so that we can address the food security challenges in the Kingdom?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله سعد الله مساءكم كل خير. Thank you very much for this question, and thank you for inviting me. It is my pleasure to be here with my colleague. You know, Istidama.
Thank you for coming while still sick. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much. So Istidama was founded on the principle of sustainable food production to address Saudi Arabia food security challenges. Our strategic initiatives are aligned with the Kingdom vision for future driven by advanced technology, while ensuring sustainability. As a hub for agricultural innovation, Istidama focus on key technologies area, including data-driven precision agriculture to utilizing IoT and AI and satellite imagery to optimize farming. Number two is efficient water and energy management to implement smart technologies that improve the utilization of water and energy. Number three is control environment, agriculture, advanced hydroponic and vertical farming. And at Istidama, we start for greenhouse, and we have 3 different greenhouse from low-tech and mid-tech and high-tech.
Yeah.
And I try to implement those technology to replace with the current practice. You know, most of the greenhouse here in Saudi Arabia is plastic, low technology, and it's not sustainable. It's consumed too much water. So we need to implement this technology to improve the utilization of natural resource and also to have sustainable food production. The fourth one is nutrient enrich and biofortification. This is to enhancement the food quality and the healthier food. So we have focus on adding some like micronutrient and other nutrient that can increase the percentage or value of the final product.
Yeah.
So now if you go to any pharmaceutical, you will find a zinc supplement on the just close. Why? Because most of the food that we produce locally is maybe sometimes farmers, they don't apply the needed of nutrients, so they produce less nutrient food. So this is one of the area that how can we improve the health of the human being by farming? How can we produce farming product and crop vegetables and fruit with high nutrition value? This is the area that we focus on. The main mandate for Istidama is to conduct research that improve the utilization of natural resource. We are focusing on improve the food security or enhance the food security and improve utilization of natural resource, and one of them, the most resource is the water.
True. Well, thank you for highlighting the matter of the nutrition, because this is a core principle of food security, which often gets missed in the challenge of growing more. And it also highlights the importance of the local production because, like you addressed, and yesterday on one of the panels, one of the speakers told us that the average age of an apple that we consume in the GCC, you have an idea how old it is? It's 1 year.
Yeah.
That's the average. So I can believe we are getting the crunchiness, we are getting that, but the nutrition that is left in it after we get it is probably diminished. So yes, this is very important element that you highlighted. The other things, I think you touched on it briefly, but we are under the challenge of growing more to meet the demand. How will Istidama balance the research so that, how it will utilize its research to balance sustainability with scalability? Now we're under pressure to grow more. So how are we going to make this balance given our limited resources in this area, being an arid area? How are you balancing scalability while maintaining sustainability?
Yeah, thank you very much. This is a very important question because we are focused on the technology development. If you look at the innovation value chain, you will find it starts with knowledge development. This is the basic research and technology development, then business development.
Yeah.
We at our research we are thinking about the technology development, so it's implemented. So our first strategic objective to create knowledge and sustainable agriculture. The second one is implement or transfer the knowledge to the farmer. So this is very important for us. Now, if you think about farming and sustainability, sometimes doesn't equal because farming is depend on utilizing the resource. So how can we make our agriculture is sustainable?
Yeah.
For example, how can we use some technologies that can enhance the utilization of water and to produce more and less resource, less chemical, for example, fertilizer. And also we utilize the climate. So what's the suitable crop for north region and for south region? Also, if I talk about greenhouse, also we have different type of greenhouses, site specific for each area. So some area that need high technology and some area just need simple tunnel greenhouse. So we try to benefit from local climate to make adapted climate farming.
Thank you very much. We move to you, Mr. Brahim. Being the Executive Director of the United Nations Global Compact in the global network in Saudi Arabia, I would like to know more, how do you emphasize, what's the emphasis on the partnership for sustainable development? How does your network facilitate collaboration between the private sector and the government in advancing food security in the kingdom?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you so much for having us here today. I think this is a very important session, and when we talk about food systems in general, this is one of the most important topics. And when we talk about the SDGs, I think food systems and everything related to food is touching upon many different SDGs. So for us as a United Nations Global Compact, we are globally as the biggest initiative established by Secretary General Kofi Annan back in 2000. And the aim of the establishment of this is to add the human face to the private sector and to the corporate world. By inviting companies to commit to 10 principles that cover 4 areas of environment, human rights, labor, and anti-corruption, as well as the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Here in Saudi Arabia, yes, we are one of the youngest networks globally. Today we are talking about an entity that has 70 networks across the world, 25,000 companies globally, representing 165 countries and 70 country offices, including the one in Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabia, when it comes to food, we are working closely with the Ministry of Economy and Planning as the umbrella of sustainable development in Saudi Arabia. We're working with the Ministry of Environment, Water and Agriculture, and we're working mainly with the private sector. So what we are doing with the private sector is, first of all, we are facilitating the dialogue between the government, private sector, and civil society organizations to look into solutions that will tackle all the challenges in the food systems, especially the ones that we have in this region, which is one of the most challenging regions when it comes to food security and food sustainability. And then we are also building the capacity of the companies. Today we have so many different programs that we are building the capacity of the companies to link their work in food system to sustainability, and then at a later stage to issue an annual report that talk about the progress of food sustainability and how is this embedded in the way that the companies do the business.
Since you touched on the sustainability development goals, United Nations Sustainability Development Goals, and being a representative of the United Nations here, I would like to touch with you on the biggest challenges in aligning global corporate strategies with the Sustainability Development Goals of the UN. And how do you think these challenges can be addressed so that we get to the learning curve with the local enterprises that are trying to implement them in the kingdom?
Well, I think the most challenging part here is very much linking what the companies are doing in a local level to a global level. We are lucky to have our vision, the Kingdom's vision, Vision 2030. And if we talk about the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals were launched in 2015 in September. Vision 2030 was launched on 25th of April 2016, which is 6 months after the establishment of the SDGs. And then, according to the Ministry of Economy and Planning, there is 89% of alignment between the SDGs and the Vision 2030. But when we go and speak to the companies and look at what the companies are doing from an operational perspective, we find that the companies are doing a lot of things to support Vision 2030. But the challenge is linking what they've done in the Vision 2030 to the SDGs. So reporting is one of the biggest challenges here that we see to link the work that the companies are doing to support SDGs. And the second part is awareness. So if you ask any company about what they're doing to achieve Vision 2030, they will tell you a lot of things. But if you ask them what you are doing to support the SDGs, there's always a challenge. But they don't know that whatever they are doing to support the Vision 2030, they're contributing directly or indirectly to the SDGs. So what we are trying to do here is to, through one of our programs, which is called SDG Ambition Program, that help the company link their work to Vision 2030 to the SDGs, and then have a global impact. Today we're talking about Saudi Arabia as a G20 country. So a G20 country that is 65% of the population of the world, 85% of the GDP of the world. So if we have 194 countries committed to the SDGs in 2015, at least 170 plus will be looking at the top 20 as the role model and the examples they want to follow. So what we do here is that the government is representing this aspect, so we want to have the private sector, the companies leading in the food systems, to be the one leading on a global impact, and then other countries can follow that.
Is there a clear framework for that? Do you have a clear framework that the companies can adhere to, or a roadmap that they can follow?
Yes, there is the Sustainable Development Goals and all the indicators. Yes, there are 17 goals, but there are 160 indicators. So we help companies link their work to the indicators and how they can report to this. And as I said, in line with the Vision 2030. So we have created the matrix between Vision 2030 and the SDGs. And then we have now companies reporting in both and have a bigger impact on a global level.
Thank you very much. I think for the sake of time, we're going to be quick and give each of the panelists 1 minute to have a close-up. I think we established the importance of collaboration between international bodies, research institutions, and private sectors, but I would like you to have the closing statement, 1 minute each, if you'd like to add anything.
Because when I was listening to Mr. Ibrahim, I remembered some things, so allow me also to add. So I think one of the reasons why I'm also here is because of the partnerships that the Global Compact can provide as a platform for companies to be a force for good in reaching the SDGs and also helping our communities. So that's one of the innovations that I'm very thankful for the UN Global Compact, because it provided all the major players, multi-stakeholders, to align our goals with the SDGs and our company goals as well. So I'd just like to say that our Forward Faster initiative is hinged on that goal of partnerships for the goals. So we see different companies with our core competencies bringing forward ending zero hunger and moving forward faster the food initiative. For instance, for our company, we're responsible investments. Yep. And then trade and marketing for the goods. And then for the other companies, like we also have a co-lead there who's one of the largest strings of hospitals. They're taking care of our farmers in terms of, because we have an aging population of farmers in the Philippines. The median age is around 60 years old. So
everywhere. It's not just the
Philippines. I think all over the world, yeah. So we need, those group of hospitals are making sure that on a daily basis, the health of the growers are also well taken care of. And then we also have another group focused on youth, involving the youth, not just in the production of the land, but involvement in the whole of food systems transformation agenda,
Right.
of helping them bringing more agri-tech, know-how and knowledge. So I think right now, if we're going to talk about innovations in terms of socioeconomic innovations, partnerships, and using the UN Global Compact.
Dr. Khaled?
Yeah, thank you very much for this question. This is very important because, it's really a matter for us. Istidama was funded based on collaboration between SABIC as funded and MIWA as owner and King Saud University as hosting. So it is very important for us because, in terms of age, we are still considered as young. We established in 2017, and we are in a growing stage. So either we grow horizontal or vertical. Vertical, that means I need to hire scientists.
Yeah.
Vertical and horizontal by collaboration. And since we established the center, we have very good collaboration with Wageningen University, and
Yep.
Netherlands and Wageningen University, considered as well known. So we have so many collaboration internally and externally, and also we have collaboration with the university. So I think it is the collaboration is very important because it's shortcut to the technology and implementation. So we are depending on the collaboration, and it's really value for us.
Mr. Ibrahim?
Partnerships, partnerships, partnerships. SDGs, we have 17 goals. Everybody is focusing on all the SDGs and forgetting number 17. And 17, it says partnership for the goals. So for you to achieve all the 16 goals, you need partnerships. So I think collaboration, partnerships, facilitation of dialogues between private, government, and civil society and academic institutions and think tanks is very important to achieve the goals.
Amazing. I think we established today that collaboration and partnership is the backbone for securing a sustainable future for the food. And I hope these conversations continue also beyond COP and above just the panels. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.